What's up everybody, D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing my breakdown for Ready Player One. That's right, this is all Easter eggs in Ready Player One. Obviously, major spoiler warning for the movie. We are literally going to break down every single cameo that I caught, and that means that we are going to cover some major spoilers. We're not just talking some random characters showing up, we're talking major plot points, set locations, music, we're talking everything. So get out of here if you haven't seen the movie. So, like many of you, I'm a Jeremy Jahns fan, and I know that in his Ready Player One spoiler review, he called out videos like this, saying that the people making them were most likely on a team of experts helping them spot the Easter eggs.
I'm not going to talk about all the references, callbacks, and nods. That would be impossible. I'm not saying no one's going to do that. I'm saying there will be videos that do that. And to them, I say, congratulations, your team did a great job.
I have no team. I'm just a kid with a love of old school movies who's gonna try to do his best to spot every Easter egg possible in Ready Player One. With that being said, I will certainly miss references from the movie. The other thing that I want to say is that this list will go mostly in order of when things first appear in the movie, but some things come out of order. This isn't gonna be one of those. We'll break it down into character sections and music sections and all that stuff. The things mentioned in this video may be seen in the movie, heard as in musical Easter eggs, or talked about by the characters. They may be held by someone, and they may even be something just seen in the background. This includes characters, posters, musical Easter eggs, and much more. So with that all being said, let's jump right into it. The old ET emblem logo plays in front of the movie. The font for the credits is the same font used in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Some gaming parody ad plays in the background that spoofs early 2000s gaming commercials. In Wade's van, we see he collects Cabbage Patch Kids. After entering the Oasis, we see a full Minecraft world. We also see the planet Ludus, which is an incredibly important location from the book. We then see Batman climbing a mountain, the Cyclops from the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad is seen walking around, so is RoboCop, Walter White, and Doc Brown. We also see Bads Maru, I hope I pronounced that right, and Carapi. On planet Doom, the planet's name, Doom, is a reference to the Voltron series in and of itself. We see Freddy Krueger, Duke Nukem, Jason Voorhees, Gears of War characters, guns from Gears of War and guns from Halo, hints to characters from the game Joust, which is a super important game in the book. As we transition into James Halliday's funeral, music from the Phantom of the Opera plays. Halliday's funeral is a recreation of Spock's funeral from Star Trek II, sort of. Halliday wears a Simon game pin, and he stands next to Simon Pegg later on. What? Oh my God! The "under your seats" line is a joke referencing Oprah's catchphrase. In a hallway, we see Mortal Kombat characters next to Street Fighter characters. An Overwatch character is seen entering a portal for a race, and Hello Kitty is in the background in the hallway. In the race, the following cars appear. Kit from Knight Rider, sort of. It's mixed into the DeLorean that Wade drives. The Batman 66 car with Batman 66 as the driver. The van from the A-Team. The Interceptor from Mad Max. H drives Bigfoot the monster truck. There's a joke about Parzival's hair looking like something about Mary. Wade's character's named Parzival based on the knight who discovered the Holy Grail. Speed Racer's car is seen, as is the car from Christine. Parzival drives the DeLorean from Back to the Future. Parzival wears Han Solo's belt with the Thundercats logo on it. We see a bike from Akira being driven by Artemis, who's named after the goddess of the hunt. The Atari symbol is also seen a lot throughout this movie, so is the Batman 80s symbol. The Akira bike has the symbol for Sega and Taito on it, and there's many more company logos on it, but I don't know what they are, so we're gonna move on. The T-Rex from Jurassic Park makes a cameo during this race, and his iconic roar can be heard. During that shot, we see a movie theater in the background playing Jack Slater 3, which is the in-universe movie played in Last Action Hero, one of my favorite all-time childhood movies. I just felt like mentioning that. The Delta City poster from RoboCop is in the background when they're driving around the racetrack, and King Kong shows up on the Empire State Building, swatting away planes just like in his iconic movie's end. Actually, you know, I could have said iconic movies as in plural, but I said it as in like It's Kong's movie. All right, we'll just move on. He does it a couple times, okay? Kong's soundtrack from the 1933 movie is worked into the song Why Can't We Go Backwards? King Kong smashes through a train track just like in the 1933 movie, 1962 King Kong vs. Godzilla movie, and 1976 movie, although it's mainly a reference to the 33 movie because that's the one it directly parallels. Kong then jump scares the audience as he smashes Artemis's bike, just like how he popped up to smash the train in the 1933 Kong movie. You can tell I like King Kong, right? We see model ships of the Galactica, which is obviously the main ship from Battlestar Galactica. My dad spotted, this one's, I didn't number this one, but my dad spotted there's also like fighter jets from Battlestar Galactica in the background of this hangar too. The main ship from Aliens is there, and the silent running ship is there. There's a flying RV in the back of H's workshop that looks like it could be the Rust Bucket from Ben 10, or at least that's what I thought. Or it's more likely the car from Spaceballs, which, yeah, that's probably what it is. Let's be honest, Ben 10 doesn't get any love.
All around me are familiar faces.
There might have been a pod racing ship from the Phantom Menace in the back, but I couldn't quite tell. The GoldenEye video game is mentioned as well, and they talk about game modes from it and characters from it. Chuck E. Cheese is also mentioned, and so is Peter Parker and Bruce Banner. They both get name dropped. Superman is quoted in the movie Superman, not the character. I think they quote Lex Luthor. And Twitch.tv gets a shout out. Why can't YouTube? Artemis calls Parzival McFly as reference to the Back to the Future character who he drives the car of. We hear mention of asteroids, Galaga, and Space Invaders as well. Bill and Ted are also mentioned. Their adventures were both excellent and bogus depending on the movie. I recommend going and checking them out. They're pretty fun. And also it's got John Wick in it, so it's not to love. There's a floating orchestra at one point. I'm not sure what this is a reference to, but I'm certain that it is a reference because I've seen it before. Anorak calls Parzival Padawan after he wins the race. The 80% monetized of a player's vision before inducing seizures is a direct call out of greedy game corporations like EA. We see a Borderlands game station and an Overwatch game station. There's also a Halo game station. The Zemeckis Cube is a reference to the director of Back to the Future, Robert Zemeckis. There are also quite a few references to D&D games in this movie. D&D plays a way bigger role in the book. Parzival also buys the grenade from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I believe it's called the Holy Hand Grenade, but I'm not totally sure. I'll be honest, I've never seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail. We see a ship from War of the Worlds when IROC and Sorento meet. That's a pretty cool thing. I love that movie. Sorento models his avatar after the animated series Bruce Wayne, or at least that's what I'm presuming, as a representation of how he views himself, as a playboy billionaire type. He also gave himself the Superman curl in his hair to show off his heroic intentions. We put fake air quotes around heroic intentions because he's the bad guy. This was found by my brother, so thank you to him for pointing that out. There's talk of Tootsie Pops and the Owl commercial that we've all seen, and then there's mention of the Rubik's Cube. In Wade's van, we see a movie list similar to the list that Captain America carries around with him in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This list contains multiple titles, but I only spotted the one, which was Mad Max. We also see the Arkham Knight from Batman Arkham Knight. We see Beetlejuice and alien chestbursters ripping its way through Goro from Mortal Kombat. There's also an emoji person and the Clark Kent glasses, which should speak for themselves. I shouldn't have to explain that one. There's a Tempest machine scene in the background, and this is all, these past few cameos have all been within the Halliday archives. I think that's what they're called in the movie. Rest in peace, Anorak's Almanac. The name Kira could have been inspired by the character from Deep Space Nine, as the name is the name of a character who serves as a primary love interest in both franchises. But it also could just be what it's stated as in the movie, and that's a reference to the Dark Crystal. A Billy Idol album is seen laying around in Halliday's office. The 1-Up Extra Life given to Wade is a reference to how players in old video games used to be able to earn extra lives to keep playing even after their character dies. This is like the only thing that saves me when I play Centipede. Let's be honest, that's the only reason I can get as far as I do, is because I just get lucky, I shoot those lizards and I get the 1-Ups. Now the kids watching are like, what's Centipede? Parzival dresses as Thriller, Prince, Duran Duran, and Buckaroo Banzai at one point in the movie. In H's chat room, Will Wheaton is seen on a campaign poster. This is a double reference to both the actor from Star Trek and Stand By Me and The Big Bang Theory, and also the fact that in the book, Will Wheaton is the president of the Oasis. There are also posters for Beastmaster, Big Trouble in Little China, Mad Max, Lost in Space, Space Invaders, Beastmasters again, I guess I wrote that one down twice, The Fly, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Flash Gordon. These are all, I believe, I saw them all inside of H's workshop. A Save Ferris shirt is laying around H's room, and H has a Kermit the Frog doll. A hoverboard and a re-elect Mayor Goldie Wilson poster are both seen inside of H's workshop as well, right next to Pee Wee Herman's bike, and a Jurassic Park sticker. That was in there too. In the distracted globe, we see selfies make a return to the Oasis. Staying Alive plays at one point, and I don't know if this is totally true, but my brother said it was. The Boogie Nights dance is done to the song. Harley Quinn is seen in the distracted globe, but you all knew that. You saw that. That was obvious. Dance Club in and of itself is a reference to old school 80s dance clubs, although this one has the addition of a flying dancing floor. We also see Street Fighter character Blanca there, the Joker, Gandalf, and Deathstroke. There's also a guy with a Devo flower pot hat, and then there's many more people there that I just couldn't tell who they were. Sorry. At the dance club, when the Zemeckis cube is used, Back to the Future music starts to play. More Back to the Future music plays at the ending chase scene of this movie because Alan Silvestri composed both movies. I think I pronounced his name right. At one point, the Millennium Falcon is name dropped along with Animal House, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and The Breakfast Club. Same goes for Tab and Robotron. We see VHSs make a return. The VHSs we see are The Fly, Say Anything, and The Shining VHS is also seen. I love VHSs. I still use them. As the High Five run into the movie theater, they actually run into the Monarch Theater, which is the same theater from Batman 1989. The Shining movie has played huge homage in this movie, with the Overlook Hotel coming back. We also see the return of Room 237. We see the maze from the end scene. Danny's trike is in the background. Jackie Torrance is limping around the maze just like he does in the movie. The Flood of Blood is back, and the twin girls are back. There's also a reference to the character Danny. They name drop him. We also see the kitchen from the movie, and the photo with Kira and Halliday is the photo from the ending of the movie. Whew. And the phrase, all work, no play, is being typed out on the typewriter just like in the movie. Also, the ballroom from the film is seen as well. The song played in the ballroom was featured in the game Fallout 4. Oh, and by the way, that axe that breaks through the door, that was Jack's axe, as seen in the movie as he breaks through the door and says, "Here's Johnny." And it's a white door too, so we keep continuity. A movie list is seen in Samantha's hideouts, and these are the movies listed on it. I think this is what I saw. Gremlins, Dark Crystal, Temple of Doom, Krull, what the hell is that? Splash, and The Lord of the Rings. It was one of the Lord of the Rings movies, I don't know which one. A painting of Raven from Teen Titans is painted on a wall behind the truck the High Five hide in the real world. That's pretty cool to see the cameos make their way into the real world as well. The tasers carried around by the Sixers guards are made up of Luke's lightsaber hilt from Star Wars. I believe more specifically from Return of the Jedi. Samantha's loyalty headgear looks to me like a mix between a saw trap and RoboCop's helmet, but who knows, it may have just been its own thing and I'm just really stretching here. The final challenge for this movie is beating an unknown Atari game. Shoto, I believe he's just called Sho in the movie because for whatever reason we decided to cut off those few syllables from the book, has a Mortal Kombat badge on. The characters Daito and Shoto are named after samurai blades. Together they are Daisho. This isn't played up upon in the movie too much, I just felt like mentioning it because I thought it was pretty sweet to hear when I read the book. Samantha wears a Joey Division shirt in the real world. I have no idea what that is, but you guys probably do who are older. And the spell that casts the orb of that word that I'm not going to pretend to pronounce, that protective barrier, is the spell from Excalibur. Adventure is the winning game in the Oasis because it is the first game to ever feature an Easter egg. In the ending fight, we see the following characters. This is definitely not in order. These are just like, I'm writing them down. Spawn, Batgirl, the Skeleton Army from presumably the 7th Voyage of Sinbad, because they're right next to the Cyclops from that movie, and the mech from Aliens. We also see Xenomorphs, Gypsy Danger. Wait, what? Really? I didn't see Gypsy. Gremlins, all the TMNT ninjas. I don't want to name them all. The Iron Giant, Chucky, Lara Croft, Goku, Frieza, Negan, Mega Man, Mario, Luigi, Samus. People have told me that the Guardians of the Galaxy show up for a second, and so do the Avengers, but I haven't quite caught them yet. Characters from Persona, Resident Evil characters, Superman, Green Lantern, Battletoad, Deadshot, Catwoman, Cassie Cage, Tracer, Chun-Li, Red Lion Voltron, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Sonic, Big Daddy from BioShock, He-Man, Evangelion units, but they're really small. They're not the massive ones. That's why they don't get featured. That's what I'm saying. Was Gypsy Danger really small? I didn't see it. I just read that. Marvin Martian, characters from Halo, Ryuk, and a Gundam. Obviously, we know the Gundam. Speaking of the Gundam, Daito shows up in the Firefly ship before he turns into the Gundam. And finally, we see MechaGodzilla. Godzilla's famous soundtrack plays when MechaGodzilla shows up. As a little bonus, that soundtrack hasn't been heard in a film for a long time. More specifically, from 1995. That's the last time that that official theme was used. I know we've heard it come back. We heard some version of it in Shin Godzilla. We heard some version of it in Final Wars. Some version of it played throughout the Millennium series. But you get the point. It's the official one that they bought. That's the one from, you know, that's the one from Godzilla vs. Destroya. Okay, this is the 70s incarnation of MechaGodzilla. This is known because Toho doesn't allow any changes to characters' powers when you purchase the right to that character unless they specifically approve it. They also force people to buy specific incarnations of their characters, so you can't just buy some amalgamation version of MechaGodzilla. This MechaGodzilla uses rotating finger missiles, just like the 70s incarnation, so it must be him. No other MechaGodzilla in history has had these. MechaGodzilla has an atomic breath now, meaning Toho must have approved this addition to the power set in replacement for the rainbow I-beams. God damn it, I wish I saw those back. This MechaGodzilla design is different from any others seen before, and it is very much inspired by the 2014 Godzilla's design. You can see the same body shape, same dorsal fins, and so on. MechaGodzilla uses the 2014 Godzilla's atomic breath. That's pretty cool. He's got a new roar, never before heard. They don't reuse the Toho roar. Parzival holds up his jukebox over his head at one point, just like the main character from the movie Say Anything. At one point, the movie Demon is mentioned. I think that's what they said. We see a zombie ball turn into a bomb that destroys MechaGodzilla, who, I'd like to point out, beat both the Iron Giant and Gundam because anything Godzilla is badass. As the Iron Giant sinks into lava, he does the Terminator 2 thumbs up. We also see a phaser from Star Trek displayed on Parzival's display in the final battle. We also see Ripley's rifle from Aliens and the pistols used in Battlestar Galactica. The glaive from Krull is used by Parzival at one point. The line, "You're in my world," is most likely a reference to the classic Freddy Krueger quote. Parzival does a on Sorento. H has the Wonder Woman pin on in this movie. Mario Kart's name dropped. We see Halliday's Easter egg is surrounded by Mortal Kombat characters and the Mortal Kombat dragon. H also has a Rolling Stones badge on. It's either that or the mouth from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Couldn't quite tell. She also wears the Greatest American Hero badge. The robot from Lost in Space is seen in Halliday's room along with an Xbox. Star Trek the Motion Picture poster, a Devo poster, a King Kong statue, an Etch-a-Sketch, viewfinders, Joust posters. Once again, glad to see that return from the book, although it doesn't get, featured as much. Zelda posters and Rush 2112 posters. The Rush 2112 shirt is worn by Helen in the real world. This movie shares extreme similarities in structure and story narrative to that of Willy Wonka. The term Rosebud is thrown around as a reference to the movie Citizen Kane. We see a Klingon bat cliff in Wade's apartment next to a Space Invaders arcade game. We also see R2-D2 is there. Songs from the movie include Jump from Van Halen, Everybody Wants to Rule the World from Tears for Fears, Toccata and Figure in D minor from Sebastian Bach, I Hate Myself for Loving You from the Black Hearts, I Wanna Be Your Lover from Prince. Ooh, Prince, I don't like Prince. I just offended some people. My bad. Just My Imagination Running Away With Me from The Temptations, Faith from George Michael, main theme from King Kong by Max Steiner, One Way or Another from Blondie, Stand On It, Bruce Springsteen, Blue Monday, New Order, Can't Hide the Love, Earth, Wind, and Fire, DeLorean Reveal from Back to the Future, Alvin, Silvestri, Staying Alive, The Bee Gees, main title, The Shining, from Wendy Carlos and Rachel Elkind. Atago music for strings, percussion, and Pluresta, SZ106, Bella Bartok, Polymorphia, I don't know how to say that word, from the National Philharmonic Orchestra, The Awakening of Jacob for Orchestra from Krzysztof Penderecki. We're Not Gonna Take It from the Twisted Sisters, Godzilla's main theme from Akira Ifukube, You Make My Dreams from Daryl Hall and John Dates, Midnight, The Stars and You, Harry Woods. Alright, there, we're done. That's everything, every reference I found in my 2 viewings of Ready Player One. Feel free to point out anything I missed down below. I'm sure I didn't catch it all. Remember, I have no team, it's just me. And to be honest, I had a little help from Google because my list barely broke 200. It was only like 210 things long. So I had to look up the remaining 57 things. I'm not sure about some of these guys like the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Avengers, Gypsy Danger. Some of you guys said like Gigan cameos. You see a profile shot of him. I don't believe that. I didn't see him. Some people have said Gamera shows up. Didn't see him either. And there's just some other cameos that I made sure to leave out of here because they just don't seem legit to me. But you know what? That's fine. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, do point out anything I missed because I miss stuff. I'm not perfect. See you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed. I will, I'll do more of these breakdowns soon. I'm working on a Ready Player One book versus movie video, so you can look forward to that. And for those of you who are new to the channel, this is mostly a kaiju channel, so don't get used to videos like this. Thanks for watching, guys. D-Man, out. This movie also shares extreme similar... Oh, Jesus.